the writing scrolls began to evolve in more complex forms. So I want to give you an example because it's probably easier if I show you. It's even one of the famous Chinese proverbs: "A picture worth 1,000 words." So this is one of the book. I don't know if you can see it. It's by Alan Watts. Some of the people may know he's a very prominent a scholar. Really know about the Chinese or Eastern culture and Zen Buddhism. And so this is one of the book. In that the first chapter, he sort of kind of went over the evolution of Chinese writings and the language itself. So this is one of the place where he will show you like how the Chinese writing, say for example, the first one is a sun. So there was initially a round circle with a dot in the center, and that's how the writing sort of evolved. That represents sun, and gradually the circle, the form became more a square-like, and with a cross in center instead of a dot. So that means the sun. So right now the Chinese writing the sun in the way like very similar to the ancient, except the style is a little different. Let's look at the second one, the moon. You can see the shape of a half moon, and then gradually evolve to this type of symbol. And then this is where the way that Chinese write in terms of the like say for example, this is rain, and then this is rain. So now people usually recognize this. So it has some evolution over the years, and then this is how it became the common form that Chinese would write writing. So the calligraphy sort of evolved more into unique forms of arts, and there were different type, different styles. And I wanted to show you that there's another book. Can you record it? Oh, yeah. Okay, good. So this is anyone who might be interested in. There's a book called "A Common Knowledge About Chinese Culture," and you can certainly get this book from Amazon if you're interested. It's it has it's written in Chinese. And yet it has the English translation. So I just wanted to flip to the section where it talk about the calligraphy. Okay, and then I'm just going to read it to you. That there are the Chinese scripts are generally divided into 5 categories. So that the so-called seal script, the official script, the regular script, the cursive hand, and then the running hand. So there are major 5 different styles. So you can think of it in like those alphabets, like different fonts. So there's Romans and there's different other fonts, right? So this is predominantly the 5 most well-recognized and popular Chinese styles. The first 2, that the official and the seal script, are pretty much no longer people were. That's not in the common people's writing style nowadays. But people use the they have the seal cutting, those type of seal cutting. This is in the forms of official script, and so that's a little different. Common people handwritings right now, we use the more easier, the more in the running hand style. The running hand style. What I mean is the running hand style is the, say for example, this is my own handwriting. I'm going to show it to you. Let me see. Okay. So you can see this is more like the style that commonly people's handwriting like. Okay, so each person are different, and from the we often say that you can infer the person's character by looking at the person's handwriting, and kind of in a way that so this is how they infer that if you have neat or more a different style of handwriting, you can tell. Sometimes even you can tell the handwriting is a woman's handwriting or a man's handwriting. So this is the type of the way that people write, and you can judge a person whether he may be more careful about the stroke of the handwriting or things like that. So it's very unique and in a way, but I don't know whether there's truth in it or not. But anyway, so I wanted to just quickly go over the type of stuff that in the Chinese calligraphy. We often say there's the four treasures of the study. So in the study, the library, usually in a person's house, that they have four type of stuff that is required for the calligraphy. So we call this the brush. The Chinese invented the brush. Usually, it started out with the bamboo stick, and people just dip into the ink, and then written on that's what's on the paper. But before the paper was invented, people usually carve out into the tortoise shell or the bamboos. They flatten the bamboo sticks and start carved it into the bamboo. Just not exactly, but similar to like the Sumerians culture, that the cuneiform, they make the clay, and then they have all types of cuneiform writings in Sumerian culture. So in Chinese culture, they start out with carving those the pictograms onto those bamboo sticks or the tortoise shell, and so that's the most primitive original ways of Chinese handwriting. And as I mentioned, throughout the years, they slowly evolved into the more sophisticated writing, and even into the major 5 styles. And the most common 3 style nowadays that Chinese calligraphy is involving the regular style. And when I was young, I was trained it's recommended for any beginners. It's the regular style. And so you had to, the way you hold the Chinese brush, you cannot hold it this way, obviously, all right? You cannot hold it this way, okay? So there's a certain way of holding the Chinese brush. So I wanted to show you this is the correct way of holding. So it's not that easy. You wanted to ask a kid to put it in the ways of holding the brush. And so you work in a way to make it really, so there are different type of stroke. So I wanted to, so I have brought out, this is not exactly a paper, but this is a type of material that made it, you don't have to use the ink. So I'm gonna show it to you. Give me 1 minute, I'm gonna get the water. So you can just do the water, and then it would turn into like an ink color. And so I want to show it to you. So there's a brush, and there's the ink sticks. Okay, the ink stick is actually made of, they burn the woods, and then the smokes that creates those dark residues, and they collect the residues and to make it into a ink stick. So what it does is the ink stick would create the type of ink, and then this is the ink stone. Okay, various size. This could be bigger or smaller. And what you do is that you just mix with the water, and you try to grind onto the ink stone, and then you will create the ink that you desire. The longer you do, it will make the ink darker. And it all depends on the quality of the ink stick. There are certain places in China or Southeast Asia, or even in Japan and South Korea, North Korea, they produce a very high quality ink. Okay, and so which is and then so for a kid, you want to train them to grinding the ink stick into the ink stone, and then it will take at least about a good 20-30 minutes to produce that type of ink that you like. So it really train a person about patience. Okay, patient, and then it also require you as you grind the ink stone onto the ink stone. It really created the circular motion, and as a way you kind of loosen up your wrist as well. So when you let's see, you got a brush, the paper, the ink stick, and then the ink stone. So those are called the 4 treasures of the study. And you really require these four are the main components of writing the Chinese calligraphy. All right, so I'm gonna skip the part where you have the ink. That's okay. Just don't let it kick out. Okay, there. Okay, so I'm still recording. So I'm just gonna use the water and sort of cheat a little bit, and then the water, and then just writing onto this the paper. Okay, so the type of people who are interested in learning in Chinese calligraphy, you have to preferably is recommended to write in the regular style. The regular style is a slow handwriting. Okay, and what you do is you hold your brush stick this way, okay, and really you use your wrist motion and to create the stroke that you desire, okay. And there are certain components of the stroke that you do, and then you can rest your elbow onto the other hand, and then keep the brush straight. And so I want to write a word that has pretty much comprised all the essential stroke in the Chinese writing. All right. So I want to write this. I'm doing it slow. Okay. You keep it straight. Okay. I haven't practiced in this style for a long time. Okay. So I'm gonna still try to do the best I can. Okay, so this word means eternal, okay. So what it does is that you got this, so in so can you see, okay, the word here, okay, the word here. So you can see that, oh, okay, you got it? Okay, there, this is the word. So you can see that there's the dot here. There's the horizontal stroke. This is a little bit horizontal. And there's like this, I don't know how to call it. Okay, so you have different components, and you have the straight line, you have the straight line, you have the hook, you have the straight line, you have the hook, you have the dot, you have the dot, you have the horizontal, you have the curve, and then okay, so like this. Okay, so a beginner usually to ask to practice this word over and over and over again. Make sure your hands are steady, just like any professional wall painters. They have to keep their hands steady and things like that. So you want to hold your sticks particularly like this, and then do it very slowly and repeat the process over and over and over again. And so this type of calligraphy is called a regular, the rigid or the regular style. Okay, and this is how a lot of beginners are asked, especially young kids interested in learning calligraphy, to do this way. And there are other, and later on, if people are, want to specialize in just particular this type of style or a different style, there's another one is called the cursive or the grass style. It's very fast, short acting, and you can probably pretty much, do it instead of lifting, you write a calligraphy, you put a point, a dot there, and you lift your hand But in the cursive or the grass style, it's very smooth, supposed to be very fast. And then so I'll show you I'm not really specialized in that style, but I can show it to you. It's really fast. Okay, can you see? Okay, so you can pretty much, I write it again. It's really, you can do it within like one stroke or something like that. Okay, so sometimes the font is so chaotic and whatever, it's even hard for an average Chinese to recognize the word sometimes even, but it does show a very in a way aesthetic style. And then if you ever go to the museum and I'm going to show you a book has a lot of pieces that demonstrate in the museum. So okay, so give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, so this is a one of my calligraphy book collection. All right, and I wanted to show it to you that there's a lot of nice so as you can tell on the cover, there's 2 volumes. This one, you can tell that the style, all right, as compared to this, you can tell it's much more sort of erotic, kind of chaotic, all over the place. Hard to make out of each. If you understand Chinese. So, and you can put them side by side. You can already tell the difference between the two. So obviously, this is so-called the running style. And most of the people who they in their average handwritings and that this is the people most commonly nowadays. And this is the cursive style, like the grass style. Kind of, you can tell just by looking at those two. Now I'm gonna flip just a regular 1 page of this. Okay, those are the pieces in the demo that are shown in the museum, and you can tell that this is obviously now you can tell it's really kind of chaotic. Words are bigger, smaller. A line just pulled straight down to the to cover the half of the pages. So you can tell this is the grass style. But overall, you look at the whole picture in the midst of chaos, and there's somehow some sense of aesthetic in that piece. Okay, I'm gonna look for the other ones that has the rigid and okay, this might be Hsu. Okay, so you can look at this one. Okay, you can make up that words are distinctly, each words are different. So this is the regular, the rigid style. Okay, now moving on to just this page here. Okay, and you can tell definitely it's much different. Okay, the form is a little different, or actually much different, and this is a cursive, the grass style. So predominantly now, people who they say a person with higher integrity and write it really nice and neat handwritings, and you can tell like maybe judging the person has some a unique character by judging their handwriting. So that's how like people were saying and all that stuff. So it normally would take a lot of efforts and work to learn to write a good calligraphy. May take several years to do so, and the beginners usually is recommended to, as I mentioned, the rigid style. Right now, for over the years, I don't really have a chance to practice calligraphy. And sometimes you wanted to do this in a quiet environment, you know, and to sit down and to do so. Nowadays, I pretty much writing in the so-called running style. So there's the rigid, the regular style, the running style, the cursive, the grass style. So the running style is kind of between the rigid style and the grass style. The grass style is pretty rough, you know, like kind of like people dancing around and things like that. And the rigid style is really too, you know, you got to take each stroke carefully and take time. That's too long, you know. In a busy life, nowadays people in their writing letters and correspond to each other. The most common style is the running style. So I'm pretty much practice more writing the running style for my calligraphy right now. Okay, so and then before I finish this, I also I just want to tell you that about the nice thing about the Chinese handwriting is this one here. So okay, so this word means, all right, can you see? Okay, yeah. So this part here, as some of the Chinese may know about, this means the heart. So like the heart, you can tell it's like a heart. So evolving like the heart. And this word means a death. Someone died or death. Okay. So this word means busy, busy. So as you can infer from the word busy, when someone's so busy, so tied up, and the Chinese word, the beauty of the Chinese word in this word, it implies don't get too busy. If you're too busy, it implies the death of your heart. Okay, one part is the combined two the implied. So you know, it gives us someone to think about in a speedy society. Everyone was always busy. A lot of distractions get sometimes gets no time to slow down and you know and things like that, and especially the past year or two. So my suggestion is that if you are interested in taking up learning the Chinese handwriting, especially the art, the calligraphy, a lot of it is very expensive. The brush, those material, the inkstone, and the paper, and you can take up some of the books that you know usually they will show you like how some of the people who had to demonstrate how you write that so you kind of like sort of copy the strokes and to learn how to write the Chinese calligraphy. So so with this, I hope this is just an introductory for Chinese calligraphy. I hope you got some knowledge taken out of this demonstration. If you have any question, feel free to send me an email or anything, then I could be of help. But good luck. So thank you so much.